So this is going to be a short video on my bossing build. Currently we're using a Python. It's not really upgraded or anything. I don't really use my gun too much. This is more of a skill build. For my reactor, I have a tingling singularity reactor with Python mounting. It's got electric skill power boost and singular skill power boost. The most important part of finding a good reactor is to make sure that the skill power, when equipped, the bigger numbers are on the skills that you actually use. You can see that my Q is 22.5k and my C and V are 27k. As for the mods on the bottom, I have skill crit rate and skill crit damage. I find that these two are probably one of the better combinations. I'm currently sitting at 33.6% crit rate and 4.3 crit will hit damage multiplier. For my external components, I'm using a 2-piece annihilation just because of the stats that it gives. If you're using a 4-piece supernova, you're getting a 4-set bonus that doesn't do anything or barely does anything because it gives you fusion skill power, but you don't really use fusion skills. The electric attack, the lightning that comes down every 2 seconds, it doesn't even do that much damage. It's not even worth sacrificing survivability just for an extra 100k damage. It's big garbage. For my modules, I'm running high voltage. This is necessary for a boss build just because it increases the damage by 100% on the multiplier. It says skill power times 301%. Without high voltage, that gets dropped down to 200%. It's important to get a module in here with a catalyst, just because when you level it up all the way, you get 10 slots. But if you put a catalyst on here, it'll increase it to 15. I'm using mid-air maneuvering, and I find that to be a lot more efficient and effective than the long grapple or the short grapple, or it's just the best grapple. I'm running dangerous ambush. This is more important when it comes to end game or boss fights that where there's a lot of DPS checks. Basically, this module will make you do 25% more damage when the boss isn't targeting you, and when the boss is knocked down, you do an extra 50% more damage. I'm running Technician for a little bit extra skill power modifier. And an important thing to note is the modifier is different than skill power itself. Skill power affects the flat number on your reactor, whereas the skill power modifier is the percentage after the X for skill power. I'm running max HP. This can get swapped out for stim accelerant if you don't really need your MP, or HP amplification if you don't want your shield. Using skill insight for skill critical hit rate, skill expansion for bonus range, electric specialist for electric skill power, skill concentration for skill critical hit damage, spear and shield for a little bit of defense and skill power. That skill power, 8.1%, is pretty big, as there aren't a lot of modules that give you bonus skill power and add to your flat number. using front lines for skill crit chance and crit damage, and emergency measures for the same thing.